Okay, Chair, we are live.
Thank you very much. So, prynawn da, croeso pawb. We're here today for the Economy, Residents and Community Scrutiny Committee on Wednesday, the 17th of December. I'm Councillor Angela Davis, your chair for the meeting, and I'm joined by committee members, cabinet members and officers of the council. So, first of all, we have apologies. So, any apologies for today's meeting?
You do have apologies from committee member Councillor Pete Lewington and from cabinet members Councillor Jake Berryman, Councillor James Gibson-Watt and Councillor Sandra Davis, as well as from officers Clive Pinney, Anne Phillips, Ellen Sullivan and Jenny Ashton.
Lovely, thank you. And item 2, any disclosures of interest, members of the committee, to disclose interest by members relating to items to be considered at this meeting. And I'll take a silence to be no, because there shouldn't be any really. Item 3 is a declaration of party whip. So again, there shouldn't be any, but to receive any disclosures of prohibited party whip, which a member has been given in relation to the meeting in accordance to section 78(3) of the local government measure. So we'll take silence again to mean there are none. So next item is just to members, if you'll authorise me to sign the minutes of the previous meeting. And we've got 2 sets of minutes. So the first from the 2nd of October 25, and there were 2 substantive items. One, the strategic economic framework, and we made 8 recommendations, and I understand that they're going to the no, they're going to go to Cabinet and we should be having the responses today, but they're not ready yet. So we will have them at our meeting in January. The next item was the UK Shared Prosperity Fund, and we didn't make any recommendations, but there were a list of observations that are in this pack here on pages 12 and 13. The second minutes of meeting from the 6th of November, we discussed the strategic sites for economic development, and we've made 7 recommendations, and they're waiting portfolio holder approval. And the next was the impact of delivered savings, and we made 5 recommendations to Cabinet. And finally was the economic development growth quarter 2 performance, and we made 8 suggestions in regard to that item. So all of the responses should be back with us at our next meeting on the 27th of January. Next is our work programme, item
Apologies,
5.
Chair. Could I
Yeah.
please have proposer and seconder for each set of minutes and then acceptance from the committee if they're deemed accurate, please?
Yeah, apologies. Yes, that was the point. So Councillor Gary.
Happy to propose.
For both sets or for?
If I can, don't know, but happy either way.
Yep. You happy with that, Gemma?
Yes, that's fine.
To take both sets. So we got Councillor Gary and Councillor Peter James.
And just a show of hands from the committee, please.
You all happy?
That's grand. Thanks, Chair.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Thank you for that prompt there. Quite important that we sign those off. So item 5 then is the work programme. So you've got that on your agenda pack there. Just get my page numbers up. Bear with me a second. Oops, there we go. So we've got the work programme there, and we've got an issue in that our agenda item for the 17th of December was delayed, and we've got Gwilym here to provide us with an explanation for that. So Gwilym, are you?
I'm here. Thank you, Chair. Since our last meeting, we've held a number of stakeholder meetings, discussed the content of the policy and also the comments received following the consultation. This has resulted in a number of amendments being proposed and new policies being created. What the leader would like to do is hold a number of meetings early next year with the Farm Advisory Group, but also other stakeholders to discuss those individual policies that are being amended or have been suggested and going to be suggested to be included to the new farm enterprise policy. So we're asking for that to be discussed early next year. And we're looking at meetings potentially for cabinet meetings, and obviously you'll have to date the other meetings of 24th of March or the 19th of May. Obviously, there's elections in between there, hence why there's quite a large delay there, Chair.
Yeah. So basically, this policy is basically the farm's policy, the council's policy on what it wants to do with its tenanted farms and farmland. Yeah.
Yes, Chair.
Okay, members. So I know some of the members of this committee are members of that farms working group. So are you satisfied that that's the right procedure and you're happy with Gwilym's explanation? Councillor Gary, I think you chair that working group. So
I do. An agent assists me in vice chair role. Would I say I'm happy in that decision? Probably not. Don't like to see delays. We've been working on it for a long time. And I think we just need to find and create the officer time to get it done and get it through into sort of, because we hope and assume it will land with full council because it's such a major area of policy concerning a large capital asset of the authority. I think probably fair to say, Gwilym, we still haven't had full agreement from within the working group that is the process that we still intend to follow in terms of finally landing that consultation with full council, but that will be discussed. I think there was some, fair to say, Gwilym, there were some good responses within the consultation, and the majority of the responses were from our own farm tenants, which is positive. Sort of 80% of the respondents were actual tenants of the estate, which is great. So the consultation reached the right people.
Councillor Gary, to be fair, we're not actually here to discuss the policy or the process of that in terms of the consultation or anything, but I hear what you're saying. So basically, we haven't had this policy before this committee. Gwilym has made a plea really there, I suppose, to bring it in May or June. Would you prefer that we say we want it sooner? And we are struggling because when to fit it in the agenda because of the pre-election period. So what is the best we can do with this now? We can't turn the clock back to the 17th of the 12th, which is today. So what can we do? Any suggestions? Councillor Adrian. You're on mute, Adrian.
I think it's very accurate what Gwilym has said. We are entering an election period that's going to delay it. We did insist, because of the motion that went to full council, that it did come to full council for approval. So that's holding up as well. So that explains some of the time delay.
Okay.
So I think we'll have to just go with it. And that's the explanation. Thank you.
So I think, Gwilym, you get a fair flavour there of the frustration behind this. And really, I suppose our plea to you is to really now work at pace to make sure this does come. And I think that's the best we can say for now. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair.
Yeah. And thank you, Gary, and thank you, Adrian, for that. So you can see the other items on the work programme are on track. So I really will urge officers, please, to do all that you can to make sure they come before us on time, because it does make life quite difficult when these things get delayed. So thank you all for that. So moving on to item 6, and this is scrutiny recommendations that have been outstanding for various reasons coming to this committee. So we've got quite a lot of them. So I'm going to just whisk through them very quickly if you're happy with that. And you'll just have to stop me if you have any comments. You've got all the information in your pack. But basically, the car park review, we made 11 recommendations. 3 were accepted, 3 partially, and 4 not accepted. But I think when you read that, there's given good reason. In part, some of it is that time and events have overtaken us. So I'm satisfied with those responses and hope that you are too. The winter maintenance report, we made 2 recommendations, both accepted fully. The climate and nature report, there were 2 recommendations, again, 1 accepted and 1 partially.
Sorry, Chair,
Gary,
can I slow you down and pull you back a little bit to the car park one?
Yeah.
Sorry, I know we're keen to get through. The only comment I wanted to make was on one of the recommendations that wasn't upheld was that sort of review post-Christmas, but we are aware that some town and community councils are looking at funding a discounted scheme over the festive period, and I would urge us to make sure that we're reviewing the impacts of that, because even if we're not doing it sort of carte blanche, if our communities are doing it, they should be learning from those, and good and bad, I'm sure, but it would be useful to learn from them. So it doesn't, I would assume there's not much of an impact for us as a local authority. If the town and community councils choose to do it, you would hope they would also evaluate it, but we need some mechanism to
A
learn from
review.
them.
Yep, that makes sense. So Jackie, as portfolio holder, our officers there, if you could just note that, that would be useful when we come to review the car parks. Yeah. Okay. So the climate and nature annual report, we had one recommendation fully accepted and one partially, and then the Berriew Street car park development, there was one recommendation that was accepted, and I have to comment that was a really in-depth response to that. So thank you to the officers for that. Then we had the March's environment investment platform and governance paper, and we'd made 4 recommendations. 3 were accepted and 1 partially, and finally was the visitor accommodation levy, which Councillor Gary, you chaired that one. There were 5 recommendations, 4 accepted and 1 partially. So I have to say, committee, that's a really good track record. It's an excellent set of recommendations across a wide range of papers, and on the whole, most have been accepted or partially. So I think good work. Councillor Chloe.
Thank you. Just a question really as to why the tourism levy then went to full council after we'd scrutinised it at ERC, just so I understand the process.
Well, I didn't chair that paper, and I'm racking my brains. There was I think it was felt, Councillor Gary, was that a recommendation from ERC?
If I'm honest, I'm struggling to remember how it landed with, was it presented just for information as a member briefing to full council?
No, we had to vote on it in full council.
No, I remember now. After Cabinet read your recommendations, they decided to bring it to full council because of the interest they felt there would be across full council. So it was debated after in full council, wasn't it?
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so next on the agenda, item 7 is really to request that you allow the next agenda item to go into a confidential session. So I'm going to read the exact item to you. The monitoring officer has determined that category 3 of the access to information procedures rules applies to the following items. His view on the public interest test, having taken into account the provision of Rule 14.8 of the Council's Access to Information rules, was that to make this information public would disclose information relating to the financial or business affairs of any particular person, including the authority holding that information. These factors, in his view, outweigh the public interest in disclosing this information. So members, you're being asked to consider these factors when determining the public interest test, which you must decide when considering to exclude the public from this part of the meeting. Now, given this is a meeting about the budget proposals, there's clearly a lot of confidential matter here. So members, are you happy that we now go into confidential session? Okay, I'll take a no hands up to be that you are happy, and I shall ask our officers to move us across, please.
I just have a proposer and a seconder, please, Chair, and a vote from the committee to confirm that, please.
Am I allowed to propose it?
Yes, Chair.
Yep, okay, I will propose, and Chloe's put her hands up to second, so thank you, Councillor Chloe. Okay, I think we